This is a video by Richmond. Today we're working on a Trek mountain bike. I was at the starting line of the race Sunday, and I went to shift into my correct gear, and look what happened. Snapped the shifter cable to the front derailleur right on the start. The whole race I couldn't shift my front sprockets. So what we're going to do today is we are going to replace that cable. First thing we're going to do is take off this cover to the shifter. There are two Phillips head screws. There's one. The real short ones. And very small also. And then the cover will just come right off. Now, once we got that off, we can just take the cable, move it out there, grab a hold of it, and now we can just pull our cable out, and we'll grab a hold of these little bumpers here. Okay, I got them. There we go. Now we're going to take that cable down to our local bike shop and get the correct one, and then come back and put it in. We are back with our new cable. Make sure that when you go down in the shop that they give you the little ferrule end that you'll be putting on the end of your cable after you cut it. So we're just about ready to put it back in. We're ready to put our shifter cable in. Now let's go right into the shifter assembly here. Engage it into the housing. Alright, now we're going to now take the housing off the frame here and straighten it out a bit to help us. There we go. She's out. Okay. Now we got the cable right here. So she's this far. Now we're going to put on those little pieces. It's not that you don't have to, but just keeps the cable off the frame. Just like that. We have the rear housing it has to go into next. There it is. She's out. They give you a long cable. Okay, let's go back up to the shifter now. You can see that the end of the shift cable is almost into where it's supposed to be in the shifter. And we want to make sure that it does so, so we'll pull it in. And there it is. just to make sure that it's seated properly. Okay. Our shift cable is all the way in, so the next thing we need to do is take the front shifter, put it in the low position, number 1, and we want the chain on the smallest sprocket in the front, and then in the back we want it on the largest sprocket in the back. Next, we want to set the distance between the inner plate of the chain and the chain guide of the front derailleur. Now, I'm taking some feeler gauges and I'm going to lift up on the derailleur, stick it between the frame and the derailleur, and if we take another feeler gauge and we want to go right down between the inner plate of the chain and the chain guide, and we're looking for somewhere 0.5 millimeter or 19 thousandths thereabout. Right there. That's where we should be. Next, we want to take our cable, put it into the clamp on the front derailleur like that, and we want to pull down on the cable, keep it taut, now make sure you keep that cable tight. There. Now that should be exactly where it was before the cable busted. Now there might be some fine tuning that you might have to do. In my case, after I went through all the gears, I realized that it was off just a little bit. Turned the low screw 1/2 turn clockwise, and she's right where she needs to be. Next thing we need to do is to cut off all the excess cable. Leave yourself a couple of inches beyond the clamp, and you can take a pair of diagonal cutters cut that off. Now I've made some old pliers in here. I've modified them. This is where they cut the cable right here. I took a file that down flat so we can take our little ferrule here and use this to crimp it on. There it is. All done. Alright, let's take our cover, put it back on the shifter. Be careful with these screws. Start one. And we'll start the other one. That's good. Okay. All on. And that's it. That's all there is to replacing a shifter cable on your bicycle. One last thing before I go. Here is the posting from that race I was in. 8/5/2012, the annual Hodges Village Dam race in Oxford, Mass. They just posted it, so they should have me there. Let's scroll down. 19-30-year-olds, 40s, and the 50s should be right down here on the bottom. And look who's right there. Right here. Right there. Rich Pin. Male. Cat 3. 50 plus. Number 793. And oh my god! I was 5th place! 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 27 seconds. Come on guys, give me some slack. My first race ever. I'm telling you, it was brutal out there. It was like 83 degrees, high humidity, dew point through the roof. It was just terrible. But hey, I finished both laps. It was what, almost 13 miles? So I think I did pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys.